Hey y'all, welcome back to Mary Expressions. I want y'all to take a moment and hit that like button and also subscribe. Today we're going to be talking about American Horror Stories, Season 2, what is this, Episode 8, I think it is, and it's titled 8. Before we get into it, please take a moment and let me know you are okay by dropping a mirror emoji in the comments and just saying, hey, Kay, I'm good. All right. Um, Without anything else, I guess this is gonna dive into it because this is it as far as American Horror Stories. The name of this is called Leg. I didn't even take any notes. But it opens up. You got a group of teenagers out on this lake. Um, and two of the teenagers are brothers and sisters, right? So they're out there, and the guy Jake, he's the little brother, and then Finn is the older sister. And so Jake seems like he might be a bit of a nerd. He's talking to one of the girls that's on the boat with them. He's kind of all excited. He's talking about the topography. He's pointing out where this city used to be that is now under the lake. And so they go to where it was, the city is located, and they decide to dive and see what they can find because apparently there's a drought going on. So with the low levels, the drought, they didn't have to dive as deep. I think they said maybe 6, 7, 8 feet, something like that, and they should be able to go see something. So Jake, you see, he's all ready to jump in. He's like, okay, who's going with me? Of course, he hoping the little hottie he was talking to was gonna go, but his sister want a cock block. And it's like, nah, I'm going with you. You know what I'm saying? He's like, what are you doing? You cock blocking. I'm trying to go with little hottie over there. And she's like, man, that girl is skank. She a slut. You need to go. I'm trying to save you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so Finn and Jake, they end up going together. So they go down and they're on top of the city, and so they're just seeing things from the city. Like they came across some signs, a tricycle. And so while they were down there, a hand comes up and it grabs Jake around the ankle. So he's trying to struggle and get away, and he can't. His sister comes to try to help him. I don't even think at this point she knew it was a hand or something, but she just saw him struggling. So she tried to get him. She could. And so she hurries up back to the top. She tells the other people she needs help, and she dives back down to try to get him. She goes back down. She sees that he's gone. His body is there, but he's lifeless. You know, he's just kind of floating there like, you know what I'm saying? So there's that. All right, then we get the next scene. It's like 4 months later, and we see her parents and Finn coming home. And apparently Finn has been away at a mental hospital. She couldn't accept or handle everything that she saw happen with her brother, you know, which is understandable. That was a lot. But what I didn't understand was they didn't even let the little baby go to the funeral. They had a service for him, and they didn't let her go because she ends up asking her mom, like, what was in the casket? Because we didn't have a body, you know. And so her mom was just like some mementos. And so she tells her some things like some shoes, his Pokemon cards. I don't know. It was some more stuff. She said it's kind of like a time capsule. So anyways, I want to spend all that money on the casket. I ain't had nobody put up in there. But that's just me. That's just me. So anyways, they're going on about their business. And then the mom starts having these visions, right? She tried to get in the tub, and the water just nasty, come up like lake, something come up, like a hand try to grab her. Then it was, something was going on with the pool. So she go out to the pool, turn the water off, it turns back on, and some lake water stuff coming up. And then she sees this apparition of her son, and he's telling her to come find him, right? So the mom goes back to Finn, and Finn is like, I believe you. I believe what you're saying that you're seeing. And so they agree to go back to the lake and see if they can find Jake. And so they were like, well, Finn was like, what are we going to tell dad, And she was like, I don't know. And so Finn was like, we could just, no, I think the mom, I don't remember. I ain't take my notes, like I said. But one always is like, we'll just write him a note. And by the time he gets it, we'll already be out at the lake. You know what I'm saying? So they get in a car, they head on out to the lake or whatever. And so they got a little lake house, so they getting settled. And so the mom just asks Finn, is she ready? Can she handle this? And so Finn was like, yeah. So they get in the boat and they go out on the lake, right? And so they go to the spot, and the mom was just like, are you sure this is the spot? And Finn was like, yes, I'm totally sure. So the mom had brought some rope. She bought it at the store before they got there. And she was like, you say it's only like 8 feet down, right? She was like, Finn was like, yeah. And so the mom was like, I'm going to tie this rope around me. And if I don't resurface in a couple of minutes, then you pull me up. Do what you got to do to pull me up. So the mom gets herself ready and she dives in. So she dives in, she's looking around. She doesn't really see anything. So she comes back up and she asks Finn again. She was like, are you sure this is the right spot? And Finn was like, yes, it is. So this time she dives in and goes a little further. And she's looking around. She comes across these 3 bodies that are chained together. And so she snatches a chain off of one of them. And she continues to look around. And all of a sudden, something grabs her, right? And so she's struggling to get loose. And so the daughter, of course, feels the rope get taut. And so she starts pulling on the rope, trying to get her mom up. And she's struggling. And then all of a sudden, it stops. And then the mom turns around and she sees her son, right? And of course, it's just his body, of course. And so she comes up, and then fast forward, we see them, the mom and Finn, back on the shore, and they have police officers there, and one is talking to the mom, and he's just like, I can't believe you found all that. We've searched, we couldn't find anything, we never came across any of that. And the mom was like, yes, and then she pulls out her pocket the change that she snatched off of one of those skeletons that she saw down there. And so the guy looks at it, it's like a dog tag, and it had the name Boone on it. And so he was like, oh, this is Boone, blah, blah, blah. And so the mom was just like, you sound like you know exactly who that belongs to. He was like, yeah, it was just one of the rival families to the Prescott, which is what the lake is named after. So that was in the previous city that is now under the lake. It was the Prescotts and the Boone family. They were going at it because the Prescotts wanted to build the dam that eventually let the lake cover up the city where they were living. And so we then see the mom and the daughter Finn. They go to visit somebody in the family, in the Boone family, right? So they're at her house talking to her, and she's just like, yeah, I know exactly about all of that. At first she was kind of being negative, talking about the lake kills people all the time, and it's either some drunk people or stupid people. And Finn was like, hold up, my brother was on that lake and he got killed, and he was not stupid. So when they really told her that, then she kind of softened up, and she told them the story of Boone, because she was like, I know exactly who they had to belong to. She said it belonged to my great-great-grandfather, because like I said, the Prescott family and the Boone family were into it about building this dam. And so we get this flashback of them, and we see the Prescotts. I think it was Reed Prescott. He was tying these 3 guys up, one of which was the great-great-grandfather Boone. And he tied them up, and he was just like, I hope y'all can hold your breath longer or something like that, because you're going to need it. And they threw the dam up, and they let all their water come and take over the city, right? So those were the 3 bodies that the mom came across when she was diving into the water, right? And so Mom and Finn, they're back at the lake house. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back. When they were talking to this person whose great-great-grandfather it was. She also told him, or told the mom and Finn, that it was owned by, I don't know, I can't remember that. It was a certain law firm, right? That's all I'm gonna say. It was a certain law firm. And when they heard it, they looked at each other like, And I said something up. I said, I bet you it had something to do with their dad. Right. So they're back at the lake house. And so they're talking, like, the daughter's just like, well, what are you gonna do with dad? And so we find out that it's the same law firm that the dad works for, right? So they're supposed to be on their way home, and all of a sudden the dad comes in. I was like, oh hell, is he finna do something? Like, is he cray? So the dad come in, and the mom's like, what are you doing here? I told you we were on our way home. He was like, yeah, that was 4 hours ago, and I just need to see what was going on, blah blah blah, because he had been kind of negative. And so the mom told Finn, can you let us talk? And Finn was like, no, I want to be here. What's going on? And the dad was just like, yeah, what's going on? So the mom just went on and told him what they found out, that they know that he works for this law firm that been doing protecting the city and all this blah blah blah. And so the dad was just like, so and what? And so kind of find out the dad is a Prescott too, which means the children are Prescott too. They all have that same bloodline. But apparently he had been keeping it a secret. He didn't want them to know. And so it's all coming together for the mom and Finn. So they're realizing now that the skeletons and stuff are coming back to them for revenge. So they was just like, the mom was just like, this was all a plan. It was a plan for them to take your brother, and they want your father. And so Finn was like, well, I'm a Prescott too, so they're going to be coming after me too, And it was just like, soon as that happened, they were like, okay, let's just leave. Let's leave. So as they're about to leave, all of a sudden the lights go out, right? The lights go out. The phones aren't working, because the dad was like, I can't believe the phones aren't working either. And so next thing you know, you see all these little skeletons and swamp things coming out of nowhere. It's like the Night of the Living Dead or so. I don't know. So they all coming, and so the husband is just like, run, So he really wasn't in on it. The only thing he kind of did was hide the secret, hide the fact that they were really Prescotts and tied to all of this. But I really did think the dad had some evil intentions. But he was just like, run. And so they start running, and they catch him though, and they pull him in. And so as they're doing that, at first he was trying to struggle and get away, but he couldn't. So he told his wife and daughter, y'all just run. Y'all get away. And so the bodies, they end up taking him, the little skeletons end up taking the dad. And y'all, that was pretty much the end of the episode. The daughter was just like, what are we going to tell people? And the mom was just like, we're going to tell them the truth. And Finn was like, but they're not going to believe us. And the mom said, well, we're in a drought, and they'll see for themselves soon enough. And that was it, y'all. This episode, like I said, I didn't take notes because I think I was just kind of over it. I mean, some of these storylines had the potential to be really good. Like, I really did enjoy Bloody Mary. I enjoyed the Dollhouse. Yeah, but like other storylines, I felt could have been developed more. Like this one, I felt like it just kind of got rushed to wrap it all up. Like, it started out pretty good, but yeah, it just got rushed to wrap it up. Like, the ending just did nothing for me. I wanted more, you know what I'm saying? But that was just my thoughts. But anyways, this is gonna be it for American Horror Stories. This was the last episode, so you tell me what you think. Did y'all like this episode? How was it for you? It was pretty cool. I'm not going to say I didn't like it. Like I said, the storyline was cool. But I just felt like within the time frame that we were given, it just didn't give it enough time to develop And the ending, definitely, I wasn't impressed with. So, all right, y'all. I'll just see y'all next time. So, until then, I'm going to pray for you all. You please pray for me. And we will continue to watch God change things. Bye, y'all.